into a daydream. How did she do it, and what makes her hot? Right after this.
Very excited. It's a strange kind of excitement because I've been in business for a long time, and we come back. I mean, it's just so unusual. I mean, it's just incredible.
But tonight we'll tell you how she did it, how her career, which almost fizzled, suddenly exploded. There is only one Tina Turner, and here is why she's hot. Tina electrifying a crowd 3 years ago as she appeared in the 2020 profile. The Beatles' classic Help was her showstopper then, a song that she said could have been her story. She was then 43 years old, had been in show business since the age of 17, mostly as a partner with her musically innovative husband Ike, whom she left after a long, volatile, and sometimes violent relationship. She was battered, but not defeated. With Ike, she formed one of the most dynamic stage acts ever. But suddenly, Tina was solo and penniless, still in motion, but trapped in a career without momentum, on the road, going nowhere.
Well, no promoters would book me because they felt, well, it's no longer Argentina. She doesn't have a record. There's nothing I can promote.
It was even worse than that. Everyone in the record business said they loved her, but no one would sign her. Her comeback almost collapsed.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around.
But then help arrived. A new management team, Chip Lightman, and this man, now alone, Roger Davies, an Australian handling Olivia Newton-John. They had the task of reviving, even reinventing her career.
We made a lot of drastic changes when we got involved. We just changed everything about her, all the people who work with her, all the band.
Together with Tina, they planned a strategy for success. First, she updated her appearance. Ironically, the new sexy lioness look was close to the original image of Tina that Ike Turner had shaped years earlier, modeling her wild woman onstage persona on a character of a 1941 movie queen who played Nayoka, the jungle girl.
I used to go to a movie and see this woman swing through the jungle on the vines and things, Nayoka. Real wild and rough. And man, I was in love with that woman when I was a kid, man. I made my childhood image of that woman. That's what I made Tina.
The wildness remained, but her music changed. Tina, whose roots were in black rhythm and blues, and who had once recorded gospel and even a country album she once called a personal favorite, was henceforth a rock and roller, and only a rock and roller. A decision was made to appeal primarily to the largely young white rock crowd who buy most of the albums. From now on, she would showcase her talents in the hippest rock clubs and avoid the Las Vegas cabaret circuit.
And now she's much more aware of current rock and roll music, and she listens a lot broader types of music than what she did in the past.
To break through, she needed a hit record, and that was easier said than done. This recording session with leading Hollywood producer Richard Perry went nowhere. Other top American producers saw her as over the hill. Fortunately, she had friends in England, where rock giants like Rod Stewart and Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones had long adored her. A group called Heaven 17 hadn't forgotten her either. They had her do a remake of the Al Green classic, Let's Stay Together, and it went big in Britain. Suddenly, her second career came back to life. Soon the dancers who backed her on stage were dropped, too reminiscent of the Ikeettes, who fleshed out Ike and Tina's act. The focus now was to be on Tina and Tina alone. Only one woman in the spotlight now. Enter these Australians, Terry Britton and Garrett Lyle. They wrote a song that she initially hated, but promptly recorded.
I sort of said to the press openly that I didn't like What's Love Got to Do With It when I first heard it. Well, that wasn't exactly true.
Yeah.
It was just that Terry had to make a few changes for me, you understand.
Perhaps the title explains it all. In a frenzied attempt to cash in on a successful single, 4 talented producers were rounded up to rush out a new album called Private Dancer. It has now sold 7 million copies worldwide. What's Love Got to Do with It went to #1 24 years to the week after Ike and Tina's only other chart topper.
Tina Turner is considered to be a crossover artist, meaning that she's gone from maybe a predominantly black audience, and now she is to everyone's audience. It's a mass commercial appeal audience. And she's managed to do that on the face of this record.
But record sales alone are no longer enough. Today, an artist needs video exposure. Tina's leggy lasciviousness has always been ideal for that. The cable music channel MTV, then under attack for not playing enough black artists, embraced Tina. Soon her image was everywhere, on magazine covers, in advertising campaigns. Her autobiography drew a $460,000 advance.
I should have done it on my own. I mean, on my own. In the early part of my career was that, but this is like it took 10 years to see what I could do. And at the end of the 10 years, it's just the tops.
Fans respond to Tina Turner for different reasons. Some just want to look at her. Others admire her perseverance. Women in particular see her as a role model, a heroine who swept away the barriers of age, a failed relationship, a racist culture, who has risen phoenix-like. Tina has become larger than life, for some an ideal. And the music industry responded to her positive vibes. They honored her as a living legend. The vote for her Grammys was powered by sentiment, fueled too perhaps by guilt because she made it, despite, not because of, the active support of many in the American music industry.
What the industry was saying to her was, Tina, we know what you've been through. We know how hard you worked, and we know what your contribution has been over the years and what it's going to be. And so we want to tip our hat to you for that.
But what they see, what we see, is the public Tina, an energy machine, who left Los Angeles after the Grammys with the flu to fly 7,000 miles to rejoin a sold-out European tour. Her hot rock band and high-voltage performance overwhelmed this German audience in Würzburg last weekend. It was there she sat down with 2020.
The world today is rebellious. The younger kids love anything that is against all of the set patterns. For a 45-year-old woman to still do it, they feel right on, forget it. I mean, the older generation is sitting back going, how does she do it, and da-da-da, and the kids are going, okay, right on, forget age. That's why I'm drawing the younger crowd.
But there is another side to Tina we rarely see.
Candles, light, my
The spiritual side. She is a practicing Buddhist.
My entire life has changed. And what it promises is that you have a mirror, and everything that needs to be changed within you, you change it. No one come into your life and tell you, do this. You change it yourself by chanting, and that's what I like about it.